That's awful. Well, hello there, everybody. I'm doing an impromptu live stream. I was doing a live stream on TikTok when they actually went dark. I was in the middle of a TikTok live. You got a notification for right on, Eric. That's cool as hell. So I was doing a live stream for TikTok when TikTok went dark, and it was weird. I've done a lot of live streams over the last couple of years, more than 500 live streams over the last couple of years on TikTok. And so to be going live literally when it went dark, it was weird. It was weird. I was actually in a moment of reflection. um, let's see. It'll be back Monday, you think, Ron? Um, by the way, we've got people live on X. Eric's over there on X. Ron is over on Facebook. It looks like Kevin is over on YouTube. Guys, this live stream right here is being blasted out to all of them. I'm on everything except for TikTok for this live stream. Okay, so here's the deal. I've done at least 500 live streams on TikTok over the last couple of years, and those live streams have really been targeted at helping people improve their health. And man, we have been effective. We've been very, very effective, and it's been the the pleasure of my life. It's been super, super, super cool. Um, I believe I've helped no fewer than 100 people reverse type 2 diabetes. Um, I was trying to tap the screen, doesn't work here, right, Eric? Um, no fewer than 100 people reverse type 2 diabetes, something that was once considered chronic and progressive and not reversible, certainly not attainable, and we done it. We done it. I've helped women reverse polycystic ovary syndrome. Truth be told, I had never even heard of that 2 years ago, and now I've been a part of women who were once infertile being pregnant. Oh, that sounded weird. That sounded creepy. That's not what I meant. That came out wrong. That sounded awful. I think you know what I mean, right? Women have gotten pregnant because I've helped them reverse PCOS or been a part of that story anyway. Um, People who have had heart disease and been terrified because they're on every medication known to man. Obese people, people who didn't think that they were ever going to be able to get outside of that suit, right? That suit that they're stuck wearing, they don't want to wear it anymore. And I've helped people deal with that, and it's been absolutely the pride and joy of my life being a piece of that puzzle for so many people. It's changed me personally. It's changed my approach to life. It's changed how I interact with people. Truly changed how I interact with people. I try to see the good in people now, and hopefully, I've become a better person in the process. I know I've got a long ways to go, but I've been trying. I've certainly been trying, and I've been able to see other people make some amazing strides. And it was all really done through TikTok. There were Facebook efforts and Instagram efforts, and I've certainly had a presence on other social media platforms. But TikTok was by and large where I met the majority of these people was through TikTok. And now to have TikTok taken away, and it was just funny to me. I'm going to live. I'll be just fine, and my team will be just fine, and my customers will be just fine. Everybody's going to be just fine. I was with you until the bitter end on the clock on the TikTok. Just got on X. Never had opened an account on this app. Jennifer, you were on my TikTok live stream. That is really cool. It was kind of eerie. It just kind of ended, right? Hi, Lindy. Hi, Sheena. So I don't even know what I'm doing on this live stream. I don't really have an objective. Normally, when I go live, I like to have an objective. I think I'm just kind of talking out loud, which is kind of what I was doing on that live stream, honestly. Um, I had I was terrified when I first started doing lives on TikTok. I was terrified. A good friend of mine, Shane Gilmore. I'm sure Shane's going to see this live stream on Facebook. I remember he remembers when I first started doing live streams on TikTok. They were god awful, probably about like this one is here. And who knew that live stream was going to be huge? Um, Look at this, Sheena. What's up, Sheena? We're gonna be just fine. So we're all gonna be just fine. We were around before TikTok. We were around just after TikTok. Um, but it's kind of funny in my reflecting here. I'm gonna touch on something that we've not really been allowed to talk about on social media. And you know what? I don't really give a fuck anymore what people say I'm allowed to talk about and what I'm not allowed to talk about anymore. I'm tired of being censored. I've been censored for a year and a half now, and I'm tired of being censored. COVID-19. Let's have a conversation about COVID-19 and the pandemic. There was a sickness and it was killing people. I understand that. I don't discredit that. It was there. It was real. I'm not one of the people that thinks that it wasn't real because I've had it multiple times. I know it. But what I also never really understood was why they made businesses shut down. I never really understood that. If a business wanted to take that risk, I felt like the owner should be able to take that risk. It's them that would be in front of people every day. And if the consumers wanted to take the risk, then they should be allowed to take the risk too. I've never seen a time in my life when people weren't allowed to go to a restaurant. They weren't allowed to go to a store. They were allowed to go to some stores, Home Depot and King Soopers. And it was the first time in my life I'd ever seen my government really dub what was necessary and what wasn't. And I was fortunate. I was always in a position where I guess they considered my job necessary. I don't know why. Just sold lumber. I don't think that was that necessary, but I was fortunate. I guess I was spared by my government. And it was the strangest thing. But while I knew that I was blessed and I was fortunate, I was able to see the unfortunate side effect of so many people. The restaurants that were forced into bankruptcy and closure, the families, the business owners, the people that owned, you know what, the unknown, the dry cleaners. You know what? People weren't getting dry cleaning done because they weren't going to the office. And so dry cleaners, they were impacted far worse than restaurants. And restaurants were hammered, right? And so I saw my government effectively kind of crush business and crush people. And we had some 8 million people in the United States were forced into poverty. And I say forced because there wasn't much of a decision. There wasn't much of a choice. A lot of the times when we are having economic struggles, a lot of the time we should point the finger at ourselves. I did this. I did this. I made this poor decision. I did this. We're supposed to point it at ourselves. But in that case, that wasn't entirely the case. A lot of people were forced into poverty. And that really, really, really sucks. And, you know, a lot of them grew from the ashes by way of TikTok. They started a TikTok channel and grew huge followings and were able to stand back on their feet and actually put a plate of food on the table. Some really got really good at it. Some pissed off Hollywood. Hollywood was upset that this person's not even trained and they're getting all the looks. Well, that's because they're doing a good job. People like that. People gravitated towards who they wanted to watch. It was really, really kind of something that's never really happened here before. And just a few years after they were shut down in COVID, they were shut down tonight. It's the craziest thing to me. And I don't really know what to say. I don't really understand it. I'm trying to wrap my mind around it. I'm trying to understand it. Do I understand the threat? Absolutely, I understand it. I'm not naive. I understand the threat. There is a potential tie to the Chinese Communist Party. I get it. Okay. And that potential tie, right? It's the algorithm. For those that are unclear, it's the algorithm. TikTok has a way of putting things in front of people that they want to watch. It's really, really cool. If you've never been on TikTok before, that's what made TikTok so special. Was if you like boats, you would go to TikTok, and TikTok within a day knew that you liked boats, and it put boats in front of you. You liked airplanes, it put airplanes in front of you. It did that very, very, very well. Creepy, actually. Like, how did they do that? And of course, while as consumers we enjoyed that, the government looked at it and thought, man, what could they do as far as harm with that technology? They could really start changing perception within our own people. And then you see 170 million Americans have it. Oh, that's terrifying. What if the Chinese Communist Party starts putting propaganda out to 50% of our population? That is the fear. And I understand it's very, very, very real. But just like it was in COVID, I am sick and fucking tired of 500 politicians in Washington, D.C. deciding what 350 million fucking people should do. I'm sick and tired of that. We're grown ass people. Who the hell are they? Telling me what I have to put in my body, telling me what stores I can go to and which ones I can't, what was essential and what isn't essential. And now again, just a couple of years after. And it's crazy. And truth be told, I'm going to be just fine. It's not going to affect me. But once again, I'm just the fortunate one. And how long until the barrel's pointed at me? How long until if you've been the fortunate one all along, how long until the barrel's pointed at you? I say, well, of course, I didn't partake in that bad shit. Well, you know what? Social media was never really bad. Do we spend too much time? Yes. Is that something the government should regulate? Or is that something we should regulate? So I don't even know where I'm really going with this. I know that I'm live on a lot of different platforms right now. I know that we got good viewership on Facebook and Twitter. Even somebody over on D Live. I can't see you on D Live, and I'm curious. I can't really see people on Instagram either. Let me jump over. Oops. I guess I'm not live on Instagram right now because I just started going live on Instagram. But I don't know. This is kind of what I'm thinking, and I love the interaction. I would love for the audience to kind of chime in. What are your thoughts on this? Is this justified? Is this what we need? Is this the direction the country should go? So let's think about this furthermore. So if it's the artificial intelligence that is really the terrifying part of what is TikTok, right? Because if it was just a platform people put up videos, that wouldn't be that terrifying. It's the algorithm. It's that thing that makes TikTok so good. That's what's terrifying. But are we to assume that Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg aren't trying to figure out that artificial intelligence? And if they could figure it out, would they put it in place tomorrow? You bet your damn, you bet they would. Speak how you feel, right, Ro? You bet they would. And so what are we going to do from now on? Are we just going to start banning companies that have innovative technology? Is that the precedence that we're setting right now? Rather than find out how we're going to address, we're just going to start banning companies, or we're only going to ban companies that have connections to adversarial governments. Is that what it is? We're just going to, if our government doesn't like their government, well, so be it. I was just in Vietnam, and it was weird because our government doesn't like that government, and that government doesn't like our government, and that's just the way that it is. I think they play well, but they don't hang out together in the sandbox. You know what I mean? Um, and amazing people. What an amazingly polite society. They were they were warming, they were welcoming, beautiful, beautiful property. I was I've got nothing but propaganda here in the United States. What I thought Vietnam was going to look like versus what Vietnam looked like wasn't the same thing. It was one of the most beautiful places I've ever been to on earth. And my country has never shown me that. I wonder why. Have I just been given a bunch of propaganda till now? If they really thought we were, if they really thought we were at risk, why didn't they do anything about those balloons? Yeah. So, I don't know. I want to ask a question. I ask this question all the time in TikTok live streams. So I'm going to ask the question here on this platform. As I'm throwing this out here, I want you guys to answer me this question and throw your comment up in the comment section. Do you trust the pharmaceutical industry? Yes or no? Do you trust the pharmaceutical industry? Yes or no? Just give me a simple yes or no. And I'm going to throw these answers up on the screen. I'm going to try and figure this out. Let's see. That's not going to let me do it. Lindy says no. Right away. That didn't take very long. Lindy over on Facebook says no. Sheena says no. Do you trust big food industry? Yes or no? Marcella Petrick. Hi, sweetheart. How are you, Marcella? I haven't talked to you in forever. I hope you're well. Susan says no. We don't trust big food. Do you trust the healthcare system? Kevin says no. Now, the healthcare system. I think a lot of people know that I'm very close to a lot of different doctors, a lot of medical doctors, neurosurgeons. I'm close with a lot of nurses, nurse practitioners. I'm close with a lot of people. I'm not attacking the healthcare system whatsoever, but is it broken? Do we trust it? Does it really have our best interests in mind? Kevin, over on YouTube. No, no, no. So we said no to pharmaceutical, the healthcare, big food. Let me ask this question. Do you trust corporate America? Do you trust corporate America? Yes or no? Do you trust our government? Does our government have our best interests in mind? I saw an interesting TikTok today. It's kind of hard to blow up. The number of politicians who voted for the TikTok ban that have stock in Meta, Facebook. It's pretty crazy. It's scary. It is absolutely scary, the number of politicians who voted for TikTok to be shut down that have stock in Facebook. It's not supposed to be like that, right? I put a video on Facebook, actually. It was a wonderfully articulated video. And the girl said, it just makes me feel icky. Makes me feel icky. I think it does. Because that's not what this is supposed to be. We're supposed to trust these people. And these people, the ones that I just asked you the question about, do you trust the pharmaceutical industry and the healthcare system and big food and the corporate America and your government? Those are people that we're supposed to trust. Literally, our lives are in their hands, right? That's who we turn to. These are the very people that we turn to when our lives are threatened. We turn to those people, yet we don't trust them. And yet we keep doing what they say. And I'm not preaching anarchy, don't get me wrong. I'm not preaching anything like that. But I hope that I'm creating some thought. How do you feel about the shutdown of TikTok? How do you feel about censorship in general? Are you for Elon Musk not censoring anything? Are you for Mark Zuckerberg now basically saying the same thing? It's funny though, Mark Zuckerberg came out and made that statement last week, and then within a week, I got censored for a post that was done like 4 years ago. It was like, have you guys ever gotten one of those Facebook things like, we found your post was in violation of community guidelines? Oh, dude, that was 4 years ago. You're just now blasting me for it. Like, I guess they were going one final sweep before they actually did what Mark Zuckerberg said they were going to do. But how do you feel about that? Should we be pressing the thumb down on more censorship, or should we do like Elon Musk says, and you guys say whatever you want to say and let people sift through the weeds and find what they consider true? Could that same rule apply to TikTok? Should that same rule apply to TikTok? And if that's the case, how much other propaganda have we been fed? I mean, you start going down that rabbit hole, and it's crazy. Does it just make me look like some sort of conspiracy theorist? Or I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does. You know, is that what is our direction? Never seen that CGV on Facebook. What is CGV, Ro? How do you feel about what you're seeing in front of you right now? And I just want to be clear. TikTok was both sides of the aisle. That was Republican and Democrat. If there was one thing that they've agreed on in the last, I don't know, it seems like, boy, I would say since George W., but even before that, I don't think they agreed with Clinton, and then they didn't agree with GW or with Senior. I know they hated Reagan. The left hated Reagan, and then, boy, I mean, you have to go a long ways back to find a president that people generally were okay with on both sides. Potentially Kennedy, but we know that couldn't be true, right? Because they did awful things to Kennedy. I don't know. When was the last time you saw a government agree on something, right and left? Oh, community guidelines violation. So both the right and the left, Republican and Democrat, agreed on this across the board. I mean, it was heavy, 80% House and Senate, and then signed by the executive branch. Now everybody's saying, "Oh, Trump's going to save the world. Trump's going to save the day. Trump wanted to do this 6 years ago. They were calling him loony. He said 6 years ago, we got to do something about TikTok," and they were like, "He's a loony tune, right?" Wow, who knew? But 6 years later, we'd be here. Now we're looking to him to save the day. He already said he didn't want it 6 years ago. And all this pressure is now coming around TikTok. I wonder if there's a bait and switch here. Are they getting us to look over there when we should be looking over here? Is there something we're supposed to be looking at over here? And they're getting us to look at TikTok over here? They're getting the new president to look over here? They're getting the old president to look over here? Everybody's getting us to look over here when really there's something we're supposed to be looking at over here? Is that what's happening? What else is going on over here? What are we missing? Anyway, I think the ban was a mix of Chinese concerns and business, but the second half is more conspiracy. It's exactly what's happening. But he got reelected because of, yeah, that's another one that was funny to me, was that I mean, all of these politicians that wanted to make TikTok go away, they all had TikTok channels. Both Biden and Trump both had TikTok channels to get reelected. The irony, right? This thing is a national threat, but I'm going to go ahead and campaign on it. 9.5 million followers Biden had, and 14.5 million I don't know, Trump has. Those are big channels, and they both want it gone. What's up, Danielle Swopes? How are you? I'm doing a rare live stream on my personal Facebook. I normally do them on every other platform, but I rarely do them on my personal Facebook. So I figured I'd do one today. I've done about I don't know, 500 or 600, maybe 700 live streams over the last couple of years on TikTok and my Facebook, the Healthy Pitmaster Facebook page and Twitter and all those, YouTube. But I decided I'd do one tonight, and I would actually include my personal Facebook. So this is going on my personal Facebook, the Healthy Pitmaster, everywhere on the Healthy Pitmaster. It's going out to a lot of different platforms. I'm just in this. I was caught in this moment of reflection. It's a funny place that I'm in right now because um, a lot of my personal family and friends that are on my personal Facebook page know that I'm deeply involved with helping people get healthy, and I've built a business out of it. It's been a very successful business. It's thriving. Truth be told, it's thriving. I'm very blessed, and it's working because I've helped people get healthy, and that's the coolest thing on the planet. To have helped people. Nice to see you too, Daniel. It's really cool to have been able to do something positive with my life. I did enough negative things with my life that it was really kind of cool to do something positive with my life. Um, I've tried to make changes. I've made a lot of poor decisions through my life. I've hurt a lot of people, and I'm trying to do better. Every day I try and do a little bit better. And I started on TikTok because I was afraid to go to my personal Facebook page. So I started on TikTok and I amassed, I don't know, 50,000 followers, something like that. 50,000 followers, gone. Just now, like an hour ago, gone. I was literally on a TikTok live stream when they shut it down. And over the last 2 years, I've personally helped no fewer than 100 people reverse type 2 diabetes. Who would have ever thunk Jimmy Grasser would be a part of that movement? Who would have ever thought that I would be a part of that movement, helping no fewer than 100 people reverse type 2 diabetes? Obesity, gone. Helping people who wrestled that demon their entire life deal with obesity and make that thing go away. And polycystic ovary syndrome and heart disease. I've had I've had gentlemen who suffered from erectile dysfunction say thank you. Problem's gone. Their wives have come to me and said it. Good for you. You're awesome. Oh, Lonnie, how are you? Adapting. Good for you. You're awesome. You are awesome. What's up, Kendra? So I don't know. As I was sitting there and I'm thinking, how did I get in front of so many people? It was because of TikTok, and that really started some sort of a major movement. This movement is just a bump in the road. We got this. I don't disagree at all, Carrie. But it started some sort of crazy ass movement. This movement was huge because how many people, when they're sick, when they are sick, they feel lost and they feel helpless and they feel hopeless. They're like, every time I go to the doctor, I'm going to get more medication. And every time I go to the doctor, they're going to tell me I need to change something more. And I've been trying to do everything they say. I'm trying to be good, and it's just not working. All these pills, they just don't have me on the right doses, or this isn't the right pill. There's not the right mix, or I take this pill and it causes this problem. And it's just one after the, and then they lose hope. They lose hope. And the coolest part about the work that we've done over the last couple of years is seeing people find hope. And you know what's the coolest part about this? Is there's been money involved with it. I've made money. I've made the best money in my entire life. Truth be told, I've made the best money. I never thought I would make this kind of money. The best money in my entire life. And you don't think about what's being deposited into the bank account. All I want to do is hear the story again. Tell me your story again. Tell me how you're better. Tell me your hope. Tell me how you have hope again. That's the coolest thing on the world. That is easily the coolest thing in the world. Hearing somebody say, you know what, I was lost, I was hopeless, I was helpless, and now I'm not. And now I have hope. That's the coolest thing. What is this? So, oh, you just give. I don't know what that is. Is that over on Twitch? I don't know. I don't know what that is. Is that an invite to somebody else? Thank you for watching me over on Twitch. I'm telling you, we're live on everything tonight. So yeah, it's just started this amazing movement, and it's been really really fun. It's been the joy of my life. And tonight I was in kind of a reflective mood. Oh, is that what that is? I don't know what it was. It's kind of cool. I'm new to Twitch. Thank you for watching me. Oh, it was a wave. Okay. Well, thank you for watching me on Twitch. Helping people get their health and hope back is priceless. We'll see you in Vegas, Carrie. So yeah. So anyway, I was going through this moment of just looking at the last 2 years, reflecting upon the last 2 years, and the names and the people that have impacted me over the last 2 years, who they are, what their stories were. I've been thinking a lot about that, a lot lately, and thinking without TikTok, I wouldn't have gotten to know them. And without TikTok, they wouldn't have gotten to know me. And would they have that hope that they have today? God, I don't want to. I don't. That sounds so fucking arrogant for me to say that. I'm not. I'm not claiming that their hope is because of me, but I had a small piece of that, right? A small piece of that. And if I wasn't on TikTok, would they have come across it? And if they didn't come across it, would they have their hope today? And so, all the bad that our government, the fear mongering that our government is saying about TikTok, what about the good? What about the people who were able to come out of the ashes from COVID-19 and bankruptcy and all the bad things that came out of COVID? What about the people that were helpless and hopeless? And what about the people who just, when they went to work and hate hate their job, and they come home and they fall into some stupid comedy channel on TikTok, and it makes them smile. Hope is hard, especially alone. You're not alone, by the way. I don't know who you are, but you're not alone. You can send me a message and you've got a friend. Your best saved me. That's what you did for me. Right place, right time, and got my life back. Susan Wright, how many times has the government prevented getting this? Your best friend saved his own life. I just showed him the road. But I'll tell you what, your best friend saved my life. He's shown me the road. And this is the part that I don't think these fucking politicians get. I don't think they fucking get it. And I don't think it has a damn thing to do about the Chinese Communist Party. I don't think it does at all. If they didn't want to support the Chinese Communist Party, if they were that afraid of them, why the fuck do we do business with them? If you don't like them, don't spend your money with them. That's not the case, though. We give them a shitload of money. I don't think this had anything to do with the Chinese Communist Party. I think this had to do with the fact that 500 arrogant asshole motherfuckers in Washington, D.C. couldn't control it. I don't think they could stop it. And so they did this. Even the Supreme Court, and I understand it went to the Supreme Court and it was upheld by the Supreme Court. You know what they said? They said, well, I mean, it passed the three different branches. It went through the Senate, the House, and the executive branch. It went through all three of them. What are we to do? They decided it was law. We uphold law. But even the Supreme Court was asking questions in the proceedings going up to it. There's, so you guys, these are all purely accusations, right? There's no actual proof that data is being leaked to the Chinese Communist Party, right? There's no actual proof. And the best thing they could say was, yeah, we don't actually have proof, but we have strong suspicions. It's kind of bullshit. It's kind of bullshit. I don't think it has to do with the Chinese Communist Party. Am I friendly to the Chinese Communist? No, I think they're shitbags. I think they're absolute shitbags. The Chinese Communist Party. I don't want to. But if we're not going to do business with them, let's not do business at all with them. Or is it okay if the government does business with them, just not us? Because they know what's best. I'm sick and tired of them knowing what's best. I'm sick and tired of everybody knowing what's best. I know what's best. For my family, I do. I do. And let me just tell you, I want to touch on something else while I'm here, while I've got the platform. Thank you. We got quite a few viewers on Twitter. We got quite a few viewers on Facebook. I'm live on both my platforms on Facebook, my personal page, as well as the Healthy Pit Master. We got viewers on Twitch, YouTube, D Live. If I could pull up Instagram, yeah, we got viewers on Instagram. I want to talk about a business model. And I'm going to throw this out there, guys. Let's be real. Do you know anybody who's bought a franchise? That's what I did. Did the company that they bought that franchise from, did they try and recruit new business owners? Everybody does. Do you know anybody that owns McDonald's? Do you ever go to a McDonald's? It's a franchise. McDonald's, that's what they do. They don't, I hate to break it to you, McDonald's doesn't sell burgers. They sell franchises. But that one is seen differently, right? That corporate structure is seen differently. But is there a guy at the top? Maybe a woman, I'm sorry. Is there a person at the top? And a whole bunch of people at the bottom? And what's the pay structure look like as it climbs? Does the guy at the top make the most money and the janitor at the bottom make the least? Where are all the worker bees? They the bottom of the pyramid? President's at the top? CEO, COO, CFO, right? Do those organizations, do they recruit? They go to college campuses to try and recruit people? That's what corporate America is, guys. Yet my business model is demonized. For doing what? For recruiting? For trying to teach people? I have to help somebody. For me to earn $1, I have to help somebody. I literally have to help somebody, or I don't make any money at all. And let me tell you, it's 100% commission. It's like 100% commission. Like they don't give me like a base pay. It's like 100% commission. And it's the best money of my life. And why is that? Is it because products are overpriced? Or is it because it's that good of a product and I do a good enough job helping people? And for some reason, my model is demonized. And if you're one of the people that looks at me and thinks that I'm playing with dirty money, well, fuck you. I play with very clean money. In fact, my money's cleaner than yours. My money has saved lives. My money's helped people the entire way up. And if you're sick and tired of being in the corporate structure, if you're just now starting to awaken and you're starting to realize that, hey, wait a minute, I've been getting fucked by big pharma. I've been getting fucked by the healthcare system. I've been getting fucked by big food. I've been getting fucked by corporate America. Now I'm getting fucked by my government. If you're tired of getting fucked, I don't wear those shackles anymore. Hey, Sheila. How are you? You walk in right as I'm cussing. I haven't been cussing the entire time. I've had a lot of thoughts going through my mind the last few days as we were getting closer and closer and closer to the TikTok ban. I've had a lot of thoughts going through my mind. The number of lives that have been saved, the amount of people that have improved their lives. The company Unicity that I work with, their slogan is "Make Life Better." That's what we do. We make life better. And they've done it for me. And we've seen it now work for thousands of people. We make life better. I don't abide by the rules anymore. I don't punch a clock and beg a boss to go on vacation, because that's not what life is. Punching a clock and begging to go on vacation is not what life is, guys. Making just enough money to stay broke. How many of you guys make just enough money to stay broke? You were on TikTok when it crashed. It's kind of creepy how quick that went, wasn't it, Sheila? So I didn't really know what I was even going to do when I took this live stream here. But I figured, you know what? If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, if you're sick and tired of somebody else telling you what's best for you, if you think there's a better way, there is. And when I put a post out there that says, hey, would $1,000 a month change your life? I'm not baiting you to con you. I'm asking you an honest question. Would $1,000 a month change your life? Because I can show you how to do it. I've done a lot of bad things in my life. I think most people know that at least I'm an honest guy. Try to be a good guy. Try to be an honest guy. That's it. You guys have a wonderful night. Thank you for listening to me rant. See you.